The U.S. will absolutely have a recession in 2025, high tariffs stay, Apollo Slok says. And as the high tariffs are put in place earlier this month remain in effect, odds of two-quarter contraction in the economic output stand at 90%. It's a condition tariffs stay in place at these levels, and if they stay at these levels, we'll absolutely have a recession in 2025. Slok told CNBC Squawk on the Street on Monday. The high tariffs were put into place earlier this month and remain in effect as odds of a two-quarter contraction and with an output stand at 90% and the gross domestic product by 4 percentage points, and according to private equity of the firm's economists. Donald Trump on April 9th granted a 90-day reprieve for many tariffs, with hiking nose to China to 145%. Central Slok's recession forecast are the China tariffs, which contends especially damaging for small businesses if they are less likely to hold sufficient cash in hand to pay higher tax on imported goods. And any slump retail would end up damaging the labor market and consumer sentiment in small businesses. Fewer than 500 workers and make up to 80% of total employment, according to Slok, who previously worked at the Deutsche Bank and the Bank of America after stints of International Monetary Fund and the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. In particular, attention should pay to weekly jobless claim reports that the job market weakness will show up there first. The impact of tariffs, especially on China, is still weighing heavily, in particular on small businesses, Slok said, and we have not seen that in jobless claims yet, but we expect to see those. Recession calls have grown on Wall Street in April, and the frequent chart changes have made nearly impossible for forecasters to measure the full impact. And earlier this month, J.P. Morgan Asset Management David Kelly, immediately following April 2nd announcement, said there was a 60% chance of a recession depending on whether high tariffs stay in place. The thing about that is, with these high tariffs and everything, they high tariffs on many different, race and many different communities and whatnot. And not only that, we've had recessions before in the past because and had economic reforms in the past. The recession what happened in 2008, which led at that time with the war of Afghanistan, and because we had taken money out, spend it on wars, the military-industrial complex, because George H.W. Bush Sr. did not, George H.W. Bush Sr., the son, pretty much did not have, the American people, the American public behind and back, and, didn't have our full interest. The schoolings, the lack of teachings, spending money in places that we didn't belong. So